say goodbye to headaches for good with these 5 simple and effective natural remedies that you can do right now. Have you ever experienced a headache that completely ruined your day? Usually it happens on the day when you have some really big plans or something that you've really been looking forward to for a long time, that special get together with a good friend, or maybe a big life event like a wedding. And you wake up in the morning and you have just got one of those headaches, and you know it doesn't matter how much medication you take, your day is going to be trashed. And yes, I understand you power through, but it's really hard to enjoy your day, especially when you've got something super fun planned when you've got a horrendous headache. That's why it's so important to have some natural remedies that you can put in place on a consistent basis, preferably, but in those emergency situations when you know you are just not going to make it through today without some help. But of course, you don't want to have to turn to the medication, because that leads to things like brain fog and making your gut not feel good. Plus, over time, you become resistant to the medication in the first place. And I would say those are the big 3 reasons why people are hesitant to rely on pain medication or headache medication in the first place. The first one I would say that people complain about the most is brain fog, in that they feel like it's hard to think clearly. Sometimes it's hard to do their job. Sometimes their physical reactions are a little bit slower. And if you have a job that requires your physical reactions to be fast, that can definitely be a problem. But some people just get tired of living in woo-woo loopy land. The second most common reason I would say that people don't want to get on medication is because of the impact that it has on your gut. And we understand way more now than when I started becoming a PT about the importance of your gut microbiome on your brain, and really on the rest of your body, but definitely on your brain. So a lot of people are concerned about getting on medication, having it affect their gut microbiome, and then dealing with the consequences of that, which can obviously be far-reaching. In addition to that, if you've been on headache medication for more than a couple of years, chances are good that you can become resistant to it, which means then you need to switch medications. And some people have a really hard time finding a medication that works for them in the first place. So the idea of switching to a new medication can be really, really frustrating. And that's why it's so important to have some natural, holistic techniques that you can implement to help manage your headaches and preferably keep them from coming back. Today, we're going to talk about the top 5 tips that I recommend my patients implement to help manage their headaches for the long term. Number 1, stay hydrated. You need to make sure that you are drinking enough water. And how much is enough water? That's a little bit difficult to say because it depends on your body type, your level of activity, and even where you live. So some people like to have a standard number. If you need a standard number, 80 ounces is what I recommend. However, I prefer to use this tip instead, and that is drink enough water until your pee is clear, and then drink enough water to keep your pee clear. That way, you know that you're getting enough fluid through the day to move all the waste products out of your body. 2, avoid trigger foods. It could be something that you're eating, even on a regular basis, that is actually triggering your headaches and even your migraines. Now, how do you know what that trigger food is? Well, you're going to be sorry you asked that question because you're not going to like the answer. The truth of the matter is your trigger food is most likely the thing that you crave most often. Now, people don't like hearing that because they think, oh, I crave this food, let's say sugar, and I don't want that to be my trigger. But most commonly that is because that trigger food puts you into a negative spiral. Now, why does our body request that? That's beyond the scope of talking about today, although we can talk about it in the future. But I can guarantee you chances are good that avoiding your trigger food will decrease your headaches. Now, if you're not sure if this is true for you, I'm going to ask you to do one simple thing. Identify what your trigger food is, or the food that you most commonly crave, and avoid it for 2 weeks. See if that affects your headaches or migraines. You're an N of 1, so do some research on yourself. If it doesn't change your headaches at all, then that's probably not a trigger food for you. Try the second most common food that you crave and do that for 2 weeks. Now, tip number 3 is probably one of the hardest, and that is to manage stress. I know in today's day and age, it can be very difficult to manage your stress because we are constantly bombarded all day long, whether it's from friends and family or from news and social media. There's a lot to get anxious, stressed, and frustrated about in the world today. So I need you to implement some techniques that are going to help you to manage your stress. Now, these do not have to be long, extended programs, although that does work for some people. What I'm asking you to do is some simple things that you can implement throughout the day. Maybe it's waking up in the morning and doing some journaling or doing some deep breathing exercises or even some gentle stretches before you start the day. Maybe in the middle of the day, it's going for a walk, even if it's just around the block. Getting some fresh air can do a lot to change your attitude. And maybe at night, it's doing a little bit of gratitude journaling. Maybe stretches work better for you, or just having a good conversation with a friend or family member to get out your gratitude for the day and get you in a good mind space for sleeping. Because tip number 4 is exactly that, my friends. We need to get a good night's sleep, and you need to get enough sleep. When you're sleeping is when your body is healing, and it is critically important to make sure that you're getting enough sleep so your body has enough time to heal. In fact, in your brain, there's these cells. I like to call them brain Roombas because that's basically what they are. When you go into REM sleep, they go out and they clean up the different areas of your brain. This is why if you haven't slept long enough and you wake up in the morning, you feel kind of groggy. You're kind of almost a little bit like you're hungover, but you're like, I didn't have any alcohol. It's because your brain Roombas didn't have enough time to work. So it's important, friends, to make sure that you get enough REM sleep that your brain Roombas can do their job. And we're even starting to see in the research that there's some long-term effects to the brain of not getting enough sleep. So not just to deal with your headaches and migraines now, but to deal with your brain health in the long term. The last thing I'm going to recommend is the most important in my book, and that is to make sure that you are stretching your neck and shoulders regularly. Now, it is very important that you do them correctly. So I'm going to link a video here that is going to lead you to the stretches I recommend that you do for your headaches. You need to be careful because it is very easy to overstretch your neck and shoulder muscles, which will actually cause increased tension and increased headaches. So you may be saying to yourself, I saw some other stretches on YouTube and I did those and it actually increased your headaches. That does not surprise me at all. So I'm going to ask you to go watch that video, because these exercises are very gentle. And along with that, I put some very specific ideas on how to perform these stretches to not injure yourself. All right, how do I know that these methods work? So I had a patient who I had previously seen for unrelated issue altogether, who called me up and said that she was having some vertigo issues. And she'd already tried the Ebley maneuver at home and it hadn't worked for her, so she wanted to come in for an evaluation. Well, after we did her evaluation, I found that the fascia at the base of her occiput was really, really tight, and it was causing a lot of compression up in there, which is actually what was causing not only her vertigos, but causing her chronic migraines. So the interesting thing was she came in for the vertigo, but we were actually able to treat the chronic migraines as well because they were stemming from the same issue. And by relieving that fascial tension, getting the joints moving correctly and getting the muscles moving correctly, we were able to relieve her symptoms so she was able to get back to work and do all the things that she loved doing. Now it's over to you. I want you to try out these headache relief techniques for 2 weeks and drop me a comment below and let me know how they worked for you. Or maybe you've tried using them in the past, then drop a comment and let everybody else know to encourage them which one was the most helpful for you. I'm going to ask you to boop that like button because that always helps the algorithm, and don't forget to subscribe.